Let's prepare on the fluid statics. So today we will be seeing the fluid statics. In the last video I told you that the next lecture will be on fluid kinematics, but before going into the kinematics, let us see something about the statics and then we will be going to that topic. So here fluid statics means, as we already saw, it is the study of the fluid which is at rest. So that topic is only called as fluid statics. So here in this fluid statics, Pascal's law is only very important. So we'll be seeing that now. So before going into the Pascal's law, so these points are very important to be noted. So when the fluid is at rest, what are the options of pressure or what are the behavior of pressure that is happening there? So that only we are going to see now. Pressure means we know that it is force per unit area. So how much force is acting per unit area will create a pressure or stress there. That is only we call it as pressure. Okay. And the types of pressure and pressure measurement device also we'll be seeing in a separate lecture. So here when you see these points, no tangential or shear force will be existing in a fluid when the fluid is at rest. And then the total pressure that is acting on the fluid, no, so this will be acting normal to the contact surface. Normal means just perpendicular to the contact surface. And then static pressure force. So when the fluid is at rest, the pressure force, that is only they call it a static pressure force. This will be equal to pressure into area. We know that force is equal to pressure into area, but the term here is very important, that is pressure into wetted surface area. Only the wetted surface area alone we will be taking in account. And then the point of application of this static force or this pressure, no, so that point is called as center of pressure. And this deals with two forces. One is gravity force, that is the fluid body's gravity, and the another one is this pressure force. So this is all some general important points regarding this fluid statics. So now we will go into the Pascal's law. So this is the definition of the Pascal's law. At any point in a fluid at rest, the intensity of pressure is exerted equally in all the directions. So when a fluid is at rest and we take any particle, and if you check the pressure means it will be equal, it will be just in an equilibrium state because it's not moving, it's at rest now. So the fluid body will be in an equilibrium state, so that the pressure exerted will be equal in all the directions. Okay, and the next point is very important. This Pascal's law is valid only when the shear stress is equal to 0. So this is the condition of a Pascal's law. So this point is very important. So we have already seen the Newton's formula for viscosity, no? Tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So based on that we will be seeing something now. So here when the fluid is at rest, we know that velocity is equal to 0. So u is equal to 0 for us. When u is equal to 0, du will be 0. And we have mentioned the condition as shear stress should be equal to 0. So tau is also 0. So when you apply this in the formula, this tau also becomes 0, du also becomes 0. So it means that mu is also 0. So this mu value also is equal to 0. So this is an outcome of this Pascal law. And the Pascal's law is valid for which type of fluids? If you see, that means it can be valid for both ideal fluid and also the real fluid at rest. So when the fluid is at rest, it can be valid for both the fluids. Okay, and also in addition to that, the real fluid at uniform motion or rigid body motion means also it is valid. We have seen that only at rest is valid, that is statics only it is valid like that, no? But in addition to that, if the motion is uniform means also it is valid. So how means here u will be not equal to 0. So this is u only. It will not be equal to 0 because it is moving, so velocity cannot be 0. But when you differentiate that, it will be automatically becoming 0. Du by dy will become 0 because every layer of that body will be having same velocity. So if you see the diagram representing the rigid body motion means all the layers of that fluid body will be having the same velocity, so that when you differentiate with respect to y, du by dy will be 0 only. So we know that tau is also 0. So when these two conditions become 0, we know that this is also valid for the Pascal's law. So only real fluid at uniform motion is also valid for the Pascal's law. So the next thing we are going to see is then application of this Pascal's law. So some problems may be asked from this. So here we have a piston arrangement and a plunger is also kept on the other side of the tube. So what we have to do is, here a weight is given. Weight means something we have to lift with the pressure. Okay, so here we are going to apply a pressure. That is, we are going to apply a force so that it will be creating a pressure to lift the weight in the opposite side. So here we apply force and here we have to lift. So here the pressure will be upwards and here the force will be downwards. Okay. So this is your plunger area and this is your piston area. So when you take the pressure in both the points, we know that pressure is equal to force by area only. So here it will be F by A and in the other side it will be W by capital A, that is the piston area. So the weight to be lifted, W, is equal to F into A by A. So like this the problems may be asked. To lift a weight of this, what is the force to be applied? Or if the force is given this much data, then what can be the weight it can lift when a piston arrangement is provided? Like that they'll be asking. So this is one of the outcome of the Pascal's law. Thank you and keep watching for the next lecture on pressure and its measurement.